Qin Shi Huang's legacy that shapes our lives today. Welcome to Memorandum, the podcast where we honor timeless figures whose lives still echo across centuries. I am Nefertytie, and today we step into a chapter of history that shaped not only China, but the entire idea of empire. We remember Qin Shi Huang, pronounced as Qin Shi Huang, the first emperor of a unified China. His name carries power, vision, and an unmatched determination that transformed warring states into one of the greatest civilizations on Earth. Born as Zheng in 259 BCE, his journey began during a turbulent era called the Warring States period. Imagine a young boy growing up in a world of constant battles, rival kingdoms, and shifting alliances. From the beginning, his life was marked by responsibility, ambition, and the weight of destiny. At the age of 13, when most children today are still in school, Zheng was already crowned king of Qin. Though so young, he was guided by loyal ministers and advisors who recognized his fierce determination. Every decision he made carried the weight of not just his kingdom, but the dream of one day controlling all under heaven. Over the next 2 decades, he launched campaigns unlike any before. One by one, rival states fell. Zhao was conquered through relentless military strength. Yang, despite desperate resistance, could not withstand Qin's strategy. Han and Wei crumbled. Chu, vast and powerful, was eventually subdued. Finally, the kingdom of Qin surrendered, leaving no rival to challenge him. By the year 221 BCE, Zheng achieved the unimaginable. All the warring states stood united under his rule. He declared a new title, Shi Huangdi, the first emperor, not merely a king, not one among equals, but the single ruler of a vast and unified China. From his dynasty's name, Qin, the word China itself would later be born. Yet, military victory was only part of his vision. To truly unite a nation, Qin Shi Huang knew he needed more than soldiers and walls. He needed a common identity. He standardized the written script so a merchant in the east and a farmer in the west could read the same characters. He unified systems of weight and measure, ensuring trade was fair and efficient. Even the width of cart axles was standardized, so roads and ruts aligned perfectly across his empire. Small details, yet powerful symbols of unity. Pause for a moment. Have you ever considered how something as simple as writing or measurement connects millions of lives? For Qin Shi Huang, these were not just policies, they were threads weaving a civilization together. And then there was his grand vision for protection. To shield his empire from northern invasions, he ordered the linking of regional walls into what we now call the Great Wall of China. Imagine thousands of workers, soldiers, and peasants building across mountains and deserts, stone by stone. It was not only a defense system, it was a statement of permanence, declaring that this empire was built to endure. His fascination with eternity also shaped one of history's greatest treasures, the Terracotta Army. In 1974, farmers in Xi'an uncovered what seemed like fragments of pottery, only to reveal thousands of life-size clay soldiers buried beneath the earth. Each warrior carried unique features, different facial expressions, hairstyles, even armor. Together, they stood as guardians of the emperor's afterlife. Why would a ruler dedicate such immense efforts to prepare for eternity? Was it fear of mortality or the belief that his empire should outlive him? These are questions that still stir curiosity and reflection today. Qin Shi Huang's reign was a turning point. He was more than a conqueror. He was an architect of systems, a builder of visions, and a dreamer of eternal unity. His story invites us to think about our own lives. What foundations are we building? What visions will outlast us? When we speak of Qin Shi Huang, we remember not just a ruler of the past, but a leader whose influence reaches far into the present. His vision for unity still resonates. Think of the systems we rely on every day: a shared language of communication, fair trade practices, infrastructure that connects us. These were ideas Qin Shi Huang insisted on more than 2,000 years ago. He understood something timeless. True leadership is not about holding power for a moment. It is about creating structures that endure beyond one lifetime. His roads and canals gave merchants and travelers safe passage. His writing reforms allowed scholars and families across vast distances to communicate. His standards in weight and currency created trust in trade, the very foundation of economic stability. Pause here and consider, in our world today, where technology, globalization, and connection define our lives, aren't we still searching for the same principles of unity, fairness, and clarity? For entrepreneurs and dreamers, Qin Shi Huang's story offers a spark. His empire was not built overnight. It took vision, persistence, and the courage to act decisively. He reminds us that bold dreams require consistent action, and that progress often comes from aligning small details with great visions. For leaders, his story teaches the value of long-term thinking. Decisions made today in business, in community, in personal life can echo far beyond our years. What bridges are you building? What systems are you setting in motion that will continue to serve others when you are no longer present? And for each of us as individuals, his life reflects a universal truth. We all long to be remembered. We all hope our actions in some way will ripple into the future. Qin Shi Huang's Terracotta Army was his answer to immortality. Ours may be the lives we touch, the kindness we share, the visions we pursue with dedication. History invites us to reflect. What will be your legacy? As we close today's episode of Memorandum Podcast, let us remember Qin Shi Huang not only as the first emperor of China, but as a visionary who dared to unify, to standardize, to build with a future in mind. His story calls us to live with purpose, to dream boldly, and to leave behind foundations that matter. If this journey through history inspired you, I invite you to stay connected with Nefertytie. Subscribe, share this episode, and let the lessons of the past encourage your steps today. And remember, a new episode of Memorandum Podcast will arrive tomorrow, where we highlight another iconic figure whose life continues to spark inspiration across generations. Until then, carry this thought with you. Greatness is not measured only by the battles we win, but by the structures of unity, vision, and courage we leave behind.